What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if we're going to get any big Gotham Knights news on Arkham Origins' 7th year anniversary. So it's right around the corner. It's October 25th. Now, it's a Sunday. It's going to be a Sunday. That immediately puts things in jeopardy for what we're talking about here, right? That if they are going to do something big, do you do something big for a Sunday? This is, again, as we've talked about with a couple things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, this is the first year, just like, Batman Day, which ended up being absolutely nothing, right? But this is the first time that we're going through these special days or these special events, these special moments, whatever, and we have a quote, a Batman game or a Gotham Knights. We have this game announced, and last year, right, going through all of these and just trying to predict, could they be there? Will they do anything? I always, me personally, and you guys know this probably if you've watched these videos for a long time, I do put stock into anniversaries. I do put stock into like those special moments. And as I said last year, I think I probably said the exact same thing last year as this year, depends on the company. Some publishers, some developers, they care more about the history than others. I'm sure they all care. I mean, obviously, when you put that much work into a product of like a video game, you do care. Okay, so if an anniversary comes, I'm sure they marked it on their phones. I'm sure the company knows about it, right? But again, do they make it a big deal online? Rocksteady has actually made it pretty much a pretty big point to be very open with their history and celebrate anniversaries. And you see people that work for them even on like Batman Day or any anniversary of their games, they'll do like a huge long, like here's a lot of like behind the scenes like development stuff we were thinking about. Here's concept art. We were thinking of doing this kind of gameplay design, and we ended up going with that. They do a lot of stuff. Rocksteady's actually a good example of a studio that does that very well. So maybe looking to them for like a Suicide Squad thing down the line. But for now, with Gotham Knights, I don't know. Last year it came and went, and we were right in the middle of, obviously, September is when they first teased the Capture the Night thing, and then they went dark until January with the redacted stuff. So they completely skipped out, obviously, on Game Awards. They skipped out on their own anniversary. And again, this is the first time, actually, ever in Warner Bros. Montreal where there's an anniversary for their Arkham game, Arkham Origins, while they're making, and it's, I guess, fully known for a new game. This has never happened before. They've been working on games, for years, and there's canceled projects and stuff, but now we finally know. Now, this does tie into, and I've seen a lot of people say, again, with them focusing a lot on Robin and Batgirl, there has to be a time eventually where you show Nightwing and Red Hood. There's got to be a time eventually, and is that Game Awards? Is that before Game Awards? A Sunday is a pretty weird time to do anything gaming related, and that probably does get in the way of it. I would, if it was like a Monday or something, could they do a gameplay kind of presentation for it? I think it would be possible. I don't think it would be likely. Honestly, best case scenario now, and even, they're doing a good thing. It's not like we're in complete darkness, right? It's not like there's literally no chatter on social media or anything. I mean, I would say weekly, they're posting things that are giving us hints, right? We talked about Poison Ivy. We talked about the Batgirl's, like the gear system. So they're giving us, I believe, inadvertent hints, and they've been doing it for weeks. So they've I guess besides that, they've had new pictures, of the characters, like looking at their backs, right? But you get to see somewhat new areas of Gotham. You get to see kind of like the color blends that they're going for in the city. So, I mean, even on their quote-unquote down weeks, right, where the weeks where it's just like a picture of characters we've already seen, we do get just a tad bit of more information. And then, the weeks, again, of like Batgirl, Poison Ivy, we really start to get something special. So, could they do something like that on the Sunday? Well, normally, the Poison Ivy thing, that was last Friday. Batgirl was that on the Monday. So they don't normally do weekends, and they also really don't do the middle of the week. It's normally the beginning or end, which is that's normal for the gaming world. There's a lot of things that happen normally in the very beginning of the week and the very end of the week, right? We've actually talked about that in the past. So it being on a Sunday, I think rules out like a gameplay thing. I know if people are maybe thinking, oh, maybe they could do a Red Hood or a Nightwing thing on on that date. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the best we get would be maybe like a new picture, or like a new, whether it be concept art, whether it be, whatever. You could say maybe they'll reflect on Arkham Origins. I mean, that would be obviously the most, I guess, obvious, right? That would obviously be the most obvious thing to do. Well, that's another thing too, right? Because they can choose it a couple different ways. They could totally, on that day, just talk about Origins, just have, their social medias doing that, and then completely skip out on Gotham Knights. It's just, again, this is the first time that they actually could say, well, we came a long way with Origins, and now we're ready to go for a brand new game. Again, could they do like a teaser kind of thing, like something big but potentially hidden? I would like to see something. I really, really would. It's not the same as last year where we're trying to like will things into existence. You know what I mean? We're all like wishing so much on it that hopefully it happens. We're not in that dire circumstance again this year, but I don't think people are fed up with the lack of information, because again, I do think there is information, but I think people want Red Hood. I think people want Nightwing. I think people want a little bit more clarification as to release date. I don't think that's happening on the anniversary. There's also another thing, and this is something I just thought of. I want to attach it onto this. It could have been probably its own video in general. We still don't have Origins, any way of playing Arkham Origins technically, like on current gen. Besides backwards compatibility, besides PS Now, we don't have it on current gen. And we're going into next gen. Obviously, Arkham Knight is part of the PS Plus collection. I'm not saying that it makes sense to announce here's all 4 of these games remastered for next gen, on Arkham Origins anniversary, but I do think we will one day get that. There's also just, I guess, if you wanted to do Arkham Origins on its own, it would be nice to see something on its anniversary. And if we're just talking about Arkham Origins, honestly, for a second here, it's a game that a lot of people do really, really love that I don't think obviously gets the respect it probably deserves. I think Warner Bros. Montreal knows that, but I feel like this would be a good time to kind of show, kind of put the spotlight on it and say, like, hey, we hear you, we see you, like, there's a lot of love for this game, and we appreciate that. And we either have this thing to show you or that thing to show you, or just, again, flat out, we are really happy that you guys love this game so much. Again, you don't have to really say it of like, we're always kind of like the odd child in the family, and this game was always, thought of that way, and stuff like that. They don't have to say, that, but on its anniversary, I really feel like this is a good time to do it. And then you can put the emphasis on, oh, and by the way, we're really going to do something very special. That's something they have in their corner, honestly, that they have that kind of underground support for Arkham Origins. That's only, I would say, gotten bigger as the years have gone on. And you could say, okay, do we trust them? Well, you know what? They made a very underrated game, and now they're making Gotham Knights. Maybe we should give them a chance. So, yeah, I'm just spitballing things. None of these things could possibly, they may all end up not happening. I do think this is the best, year that we could get something like that. I do think, just something with a Nightwing or a Red Hood, like, that's wanted, and that's something that I think we're going to get very soon. If it's not for the anniversary, I do think it's going to be something that happens in November or December. I know people keep saying Game Awards. We'll see. We'll talk about that as we get closer, but we're getting very close to, I'd say, more information. We're getting very close to, I'd say, a release date. I still think this game comes out very early, 2021. Again, this is the first anniversary ever for Warner Bros. Montreal, for Arkham Origins in particular, that there's a game that we all know about that's also, it's coming out. And it's a time to reflect on, how special Arkham Origins is, but it could also be a time to say, hey, well, all eyes are going to be on it, right? Arkham Origins is going to be a heavily searched term that day. People are going to be checking their Twitter. People are going to be checking the internet in general. There's always kind of, a journal, like pieces written on it. There always is for the other Arkham games, so there should be on Origins. And so it is a good time to say, hey, we have something cool to show you. It could be very small. Could be very small, or it could be big, but we have something very cool to show you for our, from our new game. It's also possible maybe they do it the day after, maybe that Monday, because it is a Monday, final week of October. The day after it, maybe that's the day that they do something big. It actually kind of lines up really well. So we'll have to keep our eyes on them. We'll have to see how the next couple weeks goes. I'm not expecting anything, honestly. I mean, obviously, I have my phone with me the whole day, so I'll be ready to go in case anything happens. But I'm not going to expect anything, but I do think we're very, very close to some new information. I really, really do. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think we get anything on its anniversary, whether it be something big like Nightwing or Red Hood gameplay, or maybe something small just like a picture? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And as we've been doing, a couple videos every single week, 2 to 3 videos a week. We're just going to keep the train moving. As soon as new information comes out, I'll obviously cover that as well. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I'll see you all on the next video.